business as well. So welcome.
So thank you, Efma, for inviting me again. First time I was at London, I presented the company. We were young. Now we have 2 onboard customers and already statistics that fly the charts of risk scoring improvement off the roof. What we're doing is actually measurable. You can see whether it enhances your ability to have lower defaults and to sell more consumer credit. Is there in a room somebody that sells consumer credit for somebody? I believe there's one, at least. Okay, so let's go fly by the company and then go into the case studies. Should do the trick? Or not? Okay, so how do you impact business outcome? How can you be measurable as a fintech and not just something nice to have, an advancement in technology? We are using the superior data. Superior data comes from the web, comes from augmented data layers that you can find on each and every body of us online. Social, be it government issued, databases, whatever. Everything is specifically for you and is governed by the bank, and it's trusted inside. The database sits all the time inside the bank. Based on re-engineered financial data, we took the bank's own data, we've re-engineered them, did machine learning work on them, cutting-edge experts in Israel for that field, and we're able to produce huge lifts in the models, and financial data, which comes directly from the bank. Of course, already superior engine that made us be what we are. So let's show that. We install on-premise the Ion Risk, the BeeEye scoring engine. The BeeEye scoring engine has 2 benefits. One, on the right-hand side, you can see the social footprint, the resident asset value, all kinds of different data points that the bank gets by using this platform, and that the bank knows on its customers. You can use it for marketing, you can use it for segmentation, you can use it for whatever you want, and that's yours. But the Ion Risk is the risk score. It's a PD model. If you're not a risk guy, you can tell your risk guys the numbers that I'm showing here and verify. It's going to be very, very interesting for them. And it's supposed to complement the bank's current scoring with the extended layer. That means that you don't replace your credit model, but you enhance that, and from that, you grow. Why do banks need it? Everybody knows that data governs the advancement of the high-tech industry, of Microsoft, of Apple, of Facebook, of everybody. It's data. Banks have the customer base. That's the reason we are approaching banks and not other companies or credit card companies. But they don't have the means, the data that they use. So we take a lot of unused web data along with unutilized internal data and do a lot of machine learning work in order to understand the full picture of the customer. How we do it, external and internal machine learning and banking experience, that's for the company. And now let's go for the very interesting thing about regulation. The information sits within the bank. This is the bank systems, and we install the BeeEye scoring engine internally. It connects to the personal data sources and the financial data sources that sits within the bank. Then it goes to do an augmented data collection online, returns everything internal, and then score it using anonymized data in our machine learning BeeEye labs. We then return the model within the bank, and every additional customer gets the new credit score for the entire data scheme that we're using. It's patented, and that enables banks to use information sources such as the cutting edge of the industry, of the online.com industry use, but now do it internally for the financial growth. That's the way it looks. I'll skip that and talk about 2 case studies. One of them is the biggest credit card company in Israel, 3.5 million credit cards. And it's a behavioral model. That means they are the bank's customer. They are the credit card company's current customers. And a leading consumer non-bank lender, which is application scoring. It's a new customer. This customer of ours wants to grow and recruits all the time new customers. I had a conversation in the morning from banks that want to grow and do not know sufficient information about new customers. We trained the model based on over €1 billion worth of consumer credit, and the result was staggering. We had improvement of 40 to 80% in the Gini score. That means 13.5 to 18.75 reduction in defaults, and improvement in credit profitability because we also allow the bank to sell more credit to their own customer or to other customers that they had. They did not know as well as they thought they did, and now they know more. They can sell, instead of €10,000, €20,000 in the same application, the same process, the same cost that they had before. Here is the way that we build the superior model. It's a product, sits within the organization, enterprise software, secured. We first do data enrichment. Those are the statistics of the information that we can pinpoint on each individual retail customer. Then we do training. In this particular instance, the customer had a 0.27 Gini score. We were able to reach in training 0.62. And in unseen data test, which is the ultimate test, new data set you haven't seen before, 0.44, which was 40% increase. That's not all, because after we combine that with the customer's own data, we reached 0.50, which were elevated by 85% Gini score. That goes all the way into ROI in millions of dollars. I'll show you the slide later on. Data. This is all about data. See, 3 colors. Blue comes from the web. Orange comes from re-engineered feature that we've done. And gray comes from the financial data from the bank. You can see the top 30 parameters. This is the use case of behavioral risk score in the credit card company. Those are existing customers. So, of course, you can see here, it's very important to have the financial data, but the top features are our own, and you can see here that each of them brings 7% increase in contribution to the model. Here you can see a different customer, an application scoring, non-bank lender. They don't have information about their customer. It's just an application form. And here you can see that the top 4 features are based on the web or our own engineering. Then again, you see the gray ones, which come from the application. What is your salary? How many years you work in the specific industry? And later on, you can see that the 42% from BeeEye web features. This is a lot of contribution to come from this data source that none of the banks here, I would guess, have. If somebody of you think that you have such data sources, I would love to see. And I think you're not thinking about the entire scope of 500,000 pages that we analyze for each consumer from the social medias and stuff. These are the charts, the actual charts. So this is the statistics. You can see here that if a random guess is the red line, this rock curve tries to demonstrate what is the model able to predict, the prediction level of the model. Here you have the false positive rate of the X, and the Y is the true positive rate. And you can see that the customer's current model is in the yellow, and ours is in the green. That means that in every spectrum of the graph, we were winning by a very big margin. On the left-hand side, you can see that we did also a calculation of the combination, and the combination won even that. That means, in terms of ROI, if we'll need to explain, the base value is the income minus the OPEX minus the cost of risk. This is consumer credit, everybody knows. This is the calculation that we've done on only 1/3 of their portfolio of consumer credit. They're not such a big consumer credit issuer. We were able to increase profitability, bottom line, by $4.4 million. It's 1/3, so it's $12.5 million on their entire portfolio. Imagine if it was your bank and you had 10 times or 100 times if you're a very big global bank on that. That's huge numbers. We're just doing a POC. Within 3 months, we can show and validate the robustness and effectiveness of our model. If it's not effective, don't talk to me again. If it is effective, I think you know that you can do much better. Then you'll have to decide whether or not this suits you. We've already been in Israel through the regulator, the chancellor of the central bank, Everybody knows exactly what we're doing. We're compliant with the regulation, although you need to be a forward-thinking bank in order to incorporate such a thing. And in the end of the day, it's superior customer scoring with improved credit profitability, new data that we use and give us a boost, and it's on-premise. So everybody in the bank, the security, the legal, and others would gladly agree that everything is in your hands. BeeEye never sees the actual data, so the bank keeps to have the one thing that would differentiate big players in the future to come, which is data and the ability to analyze it. Thank you much. This is BeeEye.